Now, Doja Cat gets canceled in Paraguay? And yes, I am in fact talking about the country Paraguay. Have you guys heard about this Doja Cat story involving her time in Paraguay? I wanted to cover it and give you my thoughts on it since it is a pretty hot topic at the moment. So yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, Doja Cat, an artist you're most definitely familiar with. Doja Cat is, of course, one of the most streamed artists of this generation, which is kind of crazy. She's doing some pretty big things these days. The last time I spoke about her, we covered that Instagram live rant where she was sharing some frustration about certain things she was going through in the music industry. Now, what exactly is going on with this story right here, though? Well, it starts in Paraguay. Very recently, about a week ago actually, Doja Cat was set to perform at this festival that was being held in the capital of Paraguay, Asunción, I think that's how you say it. The festival, however, actually ended up getting canceled due to extreme weather conditions, and Doja Cat obviously ended up not performing. Now, after this is when something happened that led to Doja Cat getting a bunch of backlash from her Paraguayan fans. So Doja Cat put up a tweet on Twitter, okay? This is what she said. There was a storm in Paraguay, the show got canceled. When I left the next morning, there wasn't one person outside of the hotel waiting for me. Let that sink in. Right after this is when Doja Cat got swarmed with a bunch of backlash from her Paraguayan fans because they were saying, what are you talking about? Not one person showed up. We were all there. Now here's the thing. People did actually show up because somehow the address to her hotel ended up leaking. So her fans started posting videos of them being out there saying, how can she say that when we've been here waiting for her, but she hasn't came down to greet us. So regarding this, people were actually outside and I've seen a bunch of footage on social media. So just to recap this part, because this story is a little convoluted. Her performance at the festival out there in Paraguay ended up getting canceled. She went back to her hotel, put up a tweet saying that none of her fans were outside the hotel, and that's when her fans got upset because they were saying, what are you talking about? We've been here, which is actually true. So the backlash right now consists of a couple different things, one of them being the fact that the fans feel like they weren't appreciated by Doja Cat for at least acknowledging them outside the hotel. Apparently they don't get a lot of big stars like this from what I've read, so someone like Doja Cat being out there is kind of a big deal. Also, Machine Gun Kelly was also going to perform at this festival. Now what MGK ended up doing was he ended up throwing a free concert with his fans. I believe it was outside of his hotel. Machine Gun Kelly did that as a way to give back since he had to cancel, right? Which I think was a dope move. Now connecting this to Doja Cat, a lot of her Paraguayan fans are saying, look how this guy's treating his fans and look how you're treating us. We've been outside your hotel in this crazy weather condition. You tweet about us not being here and that's cap, so we feel betrayed. By the way, something else she's getting backlash for is because Doja Cat didn't post about the cancellation in the midst of it all. So her Paraguayan fans, they felt like she didn't care too much about the performance. So I guess that's kind of where we're at. And by the way, this is just the core of what's going on. There are a bunch of other small things here and there, but these are the basics. First of all, I want to say this, man. I'm very big on not being entitled to these artists. I don't care how much you mess with them. They're not your public property. So the fact that the fans got a hold of her address and pulled up, that's already a violation of her boundaries right there. Personally, I don't think she owes the fans anything except for a good performance when she's on that stage doing her thing. So outside of anything that has to do with her being on a job publicly, she doesn't have to come down and greet her fans after they somehow found the address to her hotel and decided to pull up. Now that would be a good gesture, but I don't see it as a requirement. I do think it is a little odd that she said that no one showed up for her when people were clearly there. I don't know what that's all about. Also, there's been a lot of racism towards Doja Cat after this particular situation. So she's been getting some death threats, which I saw a couple on Twitter. A lot of people have just been very racist towards her, saying a bunch of different things. Now, the racism towards her is also fueled by something else. I'm talking a screenshot, which I think is fake, that's been going around on Twitter. The tweet in question is a screenshot of Doja Cat allegedly liking a tweet from one of her fans that said, Doja, these Paraguay people can't even afford food for their kids. What business do they have attending a concert? Obviously a reference to the performance she canceled. If you ask me, I think this tweet is fake, mainly because the same screenshot has been going around. And usually when something is fake, like a screenshot, one dead giveaway is when all the screenshots have the same number of interactions, which this one seems to have. So her Paraguayan fans have been accusing her of being xenophobic as a result of this, what I think is a fraudulent screenshot. So I guess that's where we're at in this Doja Cat getting canceled story. She's definitely not canceled over on this side, but it seems like the community over there in Paraguay, okay, the fans over there are not not rocking with her after this whole controversy. From my understanding, they don't feel appreciated by Doja Cat and they don't feel heard. Here's the thing, man, being entitled to someone else's time to the point where you start canceling them is not the right thing. However, with that being said, I can understand why the fans are somewhat upset. From what I've heard, apparently they don't get a lot of superstars performing over there. So this was supposed to be one of those rare moments where they get to experience a superstar like Doja Cat live. That obviously didn't end up happening. From my understanding, it seems like the fans just wanted to see her in the flesh, which is why they pulled up to her hotel. I get the motivation behind that, especially if it's someone you're a big fan of, and especially if you live in a country where a lot of superstars don't come, right? But at the end of the day, that is a boundary that I don't think you can just cross without considering how it makes her feel. No matter what way you look at it, it is kind of creepy. Yeah, she is a celebrity, it comes with the territory, but that's also where her free will comes into the equation. If she doesn't want to go out to greet the fans, she doesn't have to do it. If it wasn't for that tweet she put up saying that no one was outside the hotel, I don't think none of this would have happened because people started going off after that, right? At the end of the day, yes, she canceled the performance. Keep in mind, it was out of her control. Her address then ended up leaking. People pull up to her hotel expecting her to come out. Yeah. That ain't it, man. But yeah, Doja Cat is apparently canceled out there in Paraguay. What do you guys think about this story? Doja Cat is up against her fans in Paraguay after what we talked about went down. Any thoughts on it? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.